Welcome to 250 and Beyond. I'm your host, Lori Massicott. I quit drinking in 2013 at 45, and since then, I've given myself another chance to explore every inch of life clear, present, and fully engaged, no alcohol required. I'm a certified life and recovery coach, and it is my mission to bring you insightful, empowering, and fun weekly episodes with incredible guests and myself to help you create more joy in aging and more confidence and freedom living an alcohol-free lifestyle. You get one life and you get to choose how you live it. It's time to tap into all of your potential and rock your very best self, 250 and beyond. I know you're ready. Let's go. Hey there. Happy New Year. Welcome to 250 and Beyond. I am so happy that you are here. If you are new here, hello, my new friend. If you are returning, welcome back, my friend. I'm giving you a big virtual hug. I'm super excited to share this episode with you. Before I introduce my guest, I want to remind you that the Alcohol-Free Habit, my 2022 program for women in the middle of life, is a 6-week self-improvement program. If you want to break that drinking loop and get into an alcohol-free loop, I want to invite you to go and join today because I have a secret coupon code for you in the show notes. It gives you a discount for only 48 hours. So you want to go and grab that coupon, head on over to the Alcohol-Free Habit and sign up because it's going to be amazing. 2022 is going to be your year to break that drinking loop, get out of those old habits and behaviors and start fresh. And I'm super excited for it. The link is in the show notes, thealcoholfreehabit.com. I am sitting here with my friends, Ann and Lee Walkup. They've been on the podcast before, twice. This is your third time joining the podcast.
Yes, love it.
I'm super happy that you are here. Ann and Lee are the owners of a digital publishing company called Retro Rodeo Publishing. They are entrepreneurs. They just told me they are celebrating 10 years of being an entrepreneur and actually being the owner of Retro Rodeo Publishing. So I'm just super excited for you and congratulations on the 10 years.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I will also say they are my friends. We meet on Zoom twice a month and you girls keep me going. And it was funny because I remember when I asked you, I was looking at you and I said, would you girls do an episode with me about discipline and willpower? And I almost think you look shocked. And I look at you. Yeah, you were.
We view ourselves that way.
That's the thing. We don't view ourselves how other people do, right?
Right. Yes.
You're the first people I thought of to speak on this topic.
That's a huge compliment. Huge compliment. Because we strive to be that way every day. But, when you're in it, you don't see it. You're just in it,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good reminder for us all because when we're in it, we're just going through what we're doing. And that has become a habit for you because I'm sure you didn't start out disciplined and with willpower, right?
Right. It's definitely something you continue to build on.
Yeah. It's a muscle you exercise every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So let's kick this off. What are your New Year's plans for 2022? What are you going after? Do you have something that you've set out for yourself?
Oh, gosh. We're big goal setters.
Yeah.
We always sit down and this is a kind of our time of year that we do a lot of planning and connecting with what we want the new year to be. I think that we're always shifting our thought process from one year to the next. And like you, Lori, we always pick a word that will continue to breathe life into it throughout the entire year. I haven't picked my word yet for 2022, but I think goals as far as is creating more sustainable habits. I think that's continuing every year. If it's adding on an extra workout a week or adding on something different each week, I think that's the habit building process. It doesn't happen overnight by any means, but is there something specific?
I mean, I think that we specifically set goals every year with our health and with our finances, with our business growth, with our personal lives. We're huge on vision boards and gratitude journals and things and those have all become habits. Like they certainly weren't things that we did years ago, but you, like Ann said, you build on that, and that's where discipline comes in. And we also have discipline with our goals. That's, we sit down every December and figure these things out. The financial goals, the personal growth, we sit down every year. Like last year, I sat down and said, okay, I read 30 books in 2020. I'm going to read 40 books in 2021. A lot of people will be like, wow, like who cares? But it's just a goal for me to be like, you need to be reading. It doesn't matter. It's something that continually makes you learn and grow. And that's a habit that I've created in my life. So, and that will be another goal. Yeah. Yes.
That's another goal. Yeah. Readers are leaders. You know that,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Have you always loved to read?
Yes. But it wasn't always a habit because, it's hard to read when you're passed out drunk before you go to bed. Or hungover.
Yeah, when you don't have a nightly routine, which is when I like to read, then you can't continue to build a habit of reading.
Right.
Yeah, if I was drinking, I would never remember anything I read, so I would have to go back and reread it anyway,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you think it's hard to break a bad habit?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen overnight. And I know there's plenty of people that have done things, what they say, cold turkey, and are able to do it, which is fine, but they've probably actually been trying to do it before that and weren't able to stick with it. And then finally that one time stuck. I think it's something you definitely build on and you continue to come back to.
I think it can be intimidating, because a habit has become a part of your life, whether it's good or bad. So breaking it is hard. Always try to think of add in good. Stop thinking about taking out and cutting things out and replacing it with something that's good, instead of
concentrating on the bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about because we feel like we're taking away so much and we're so deprived, right? When we stop drinking. But when you're only focused on that, then that's how you're going to be.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking about what you're giving up instead of thinking about all the wonderful things you're actually gaining.
Yeah.
What do you think comes first, discipline or sobriety?
I believe that sobriety comes first.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Because when I quit drinking, it was the turning point of showing myself that I can do these things. I can stick with something, and sticking with something creates discipline. You're not going to just become a disciplined person overnight. I remember saying, well, I've got 15 days that I haven't been drinking. And some people don't count. I like to count because I don't want to break that. I've gotten 15 days. I've gotten 30 days. And look what happened in just a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And that creates a mindset of, well, what if I added in 3 workouts a week? And then, oh, well, look, I've been doing 3 workouts a week for a month. You continue to build on that level of discipline. I feel like the sobriety is what is the catalyst to helping you learn a disciplined lifestyle.
I don't think that you can hold yourself. I mean, being disciplined is holding yourself accountable. That's all it is. And you cannot hold yourself accountable when you're not in your sound mind.
Absolutely. That's so good. It's so good. Because I think that a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, a lot of women come to me and say, I'm not disciplined. I can't do this.
Yes.
Actions speak a lot louder than words, right? You actually have to do it first. So yes, that's absolutely what it is. And I didn't start out with discipline or willpower. Did you, girls, when you were thinking about quitting drinking and then you quit drinking, were you in other areas of your life, not with alcohol, but in other areas of your life, would you consider yourself somebody who had willpower and self-control?
I was thinking about this earlier because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I think everybody has discipline. If you can get up and go to work 5 days a week, you are disciplined. There's level of discipline. Everybody has a level of discipline in their life and accountability. If you can meet your parents for dinner once a week, you're disciplined. It's a habit. It's something that you hold yourself accountable to do. We were raised in a very disciplined situation as far as we're farm girls. Cattle had to be fed, horses had to be taken care of. So we were raised around a lot of responsibility. But as far as holding ourselves accountable and disciplined in other areas of our life, no. We got done what had to get done, So like I said, like you can be disciplined and still go to work every day, but that doesn't mean that you're disciplined on all levels that you need to be disciplined.
Like creating new habits.
Creating new
Healthy
habits. We all can hold ourselves accountable to a certain level, but in order to be master achievers at things, you have to get up to the next level and constantly be trying to level up. And you can't do that drunk.
You can't. No.
Or hungover.
No.
Or hungover. And we don't even realize how the hangovers are affecting us, especially as we get older, because it's just like we get into this habit of thinking this is how I'm supposed to feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I always thought that this is just aging. This is just how I should feel. And it's not true. You could feel so much better without it. You can make much better choices and decisions. That is for sure.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to in 2022? Is there anything in particular?
I'm just excited about growing our business more than we have, always trying to improve and add more things to the business is a lot of fun. And I feel like when you find what you're passionate about, and it's not going to happen overnight, I feel like there's a lot of people that quit drinking and then they're like, well, what do I do? And you have to keep working at it until you find something that you really enjoy, and you will find it. You're not going to find it with your mind messed up and hungover. I mean, you're not going to find it. Your creative juices are not there. They're dulled majorly. So I'm really excited about just new levels of growing the business, finding things that we're even more passionate about to add to our business. And I think that when you find something that you love like that, you just constantly want to continue to grow it. And you can find those things when you're not drinking. I don't feel like there's a lot of creativity when you're hungover.
No, it takes up too much brain space.
Yeah.
It takes up so much brain space. It really does. Well, let's talk about this overnight success, huh? 10 years in the making.
Yes, it takes 10 years.
It's amazing. Honestly, when did you realize in the past? Well, first, tell us about your business.
We own a publishing company that encompasses a cooking website, The Southern Lady Cooks, that's been around for years. And we also own Front Porch Life magazine, which is a digital publication that is a quarterly that focuses on the simple life and country living, cooking, things like that. And that publication is going to be 4 years old. 4 or 5 years old. 4 or 5, time flies. So it keeps us very busy. Ann and I are the owners, and we run the whole business together. And of course, our mom is involved. My mom, she started the cooking website years ago, and she's still right there behind the scenes cooking and offering all kinds of encouragement. She handles a lot of the social media aspects of our business as well. So she's a huge help.
I love her story. When Judy started the Southern Lady Cooks, how old was she?
59 or 60.
59.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could start anything at any time. Not that that's like old. I mean, what age was she? That's what I'm going to start saying. Because I don't know if anybody noticed, but this is the first episode that I'm not asking the age question anymore. We're going into a new year. We're mixing it up. But honestly, it just, what was her age? Because so many of us feel like we are so stuck in life. We got into a career, we got into work that we are not passionate about. And I just feel like it's never too late to change that and to start your own business. When you started back in, 10 years ago, how did you envision the business going? Was it where you are now? Is that what you were envisioning?
Yes. Yep. I think I work on visualization every day. I use my cardio to 100% manifest the future. I think it's so important to have that in your life. But I've always thought that our business would be a huge success. I didn't know how long it would take. I always heard that an overnight success takes 10 years, and I firmly believe that. We're on our 10-year mark, and I'm blown away by our business and so happy to be a part of it. But I think that people think in their mind, they're like, 10 years. I mean, my gosh, that's a long time. It's like, well, the time's going to pass anyway. So are you going to put down the effort to build something so that you are financially secure for the rest of your life? Or are you just going to complain about the fact that it's going to take 10 years? I mean, the time's going to pass. So why not invest it in something that you're passionate about? Or just get started on something. It may lead to your passion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. What drives that motivation to keep going for you? Back in the beginning, like what was driving that motivation? Of course, you're visualizing where you are today. But in those moments, because I know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. And I've been an entrepreneur since 2007 when I started my cleaning business. And it's tough. It's really tough. I don't know if people talk about this enough. So what was that drive for you in the beginning?
For me, in the very beginning, was to live the life that I always wanted to live. And so I knew that in order for me to get to that, which was self-employed, could work from anywhere, did not have to worry about finances, and was financially secure. In order to do that, I needed to put in the effort every single day. And so I just knew that going in, that there was no, I don't really feel like doing this today. It doesn't matter. I don't feel like, writing a newsletter. It doesn't matter. It goes out every Thursday. You have to do it.
Yeah.
So I just never gave myself the out. And I think that people confuse that with, oh, you're just motivated every single day and you just get up every day and everything just flows. And that's not true. Every single person has the tug of war in their mind every single day. Every morning when I get up and I know I'm going to do a lift and I know I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio, for the first hour of the morning while I'm drinking my coffee is the battle of, am I going to do it today? Or maybe I do it this afternoon? I have the exact same battle every single morning, but I know at 7:30, I'm still going to go do it. That's where the habits and the discipline comes in. You just do it. Like there is no getting out of it. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also see that other people were able to do it. So why wouldn't you be able to? I think that there's a lot of people that think, well, I mean, I can't do that. Well, why can't you do it? Other people are doing it and they're doing it very well and they're successful at it. Just because you don't know how long it took them to accomplish that. So if they're able to do it, you're able to do it. And I think that's one thing that we always view when we saw other websites, making incredible ad income and getting a lot of PR, that we were like, we can do that. It's going to take us a long time, but we can do it. I mean, I think you have to view it as, if someone else can do it, so can you. And you can even do more than they're doing. But just get started. Yeah,
exactly. And what you just said, having the expectation that it is going to take a long time, having the expectation that you have to do it, especially on the days where you don't want to, because we expect that we're going to want to do the hard stuff every single day. It's just it's so outdated, right?
Yes.
Like, if when we were kids, like, it's too hard, I'm not going to do it. Or just giving up like, oh, that's too hard, I can't do it. It's just can't come into our adult life. It can't.
Right.
Yeah. When you really make change is when you drop your expectations, and on the days that you don't want to do it. And I'm talking about on the days where you feel like, I'm just going to drink. It's just going to be this one time, right? That old story that's been repeated 2,000 times. That one time is compounding over to this place where you are in life where you're just saying, I can't quit. Well, it cannot be that one time anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You just can't give yourself that out. Like, you have to just be like, there are no outs. And I mean, I've talked about this several times. What builds anything in life is consistency. Everybody's like, I can't do it. I just don't have any consistency. Yes, you do. You consistently come home every day and sit on the couch. You can consistently get up every day and go for a walk. Everybody has consistency in their life, whether it's with bad habits or good habits, everybody. So you can change that into making it a positive, just as well as it's been a negative.
It's so true.
And you have to build on it. It's not going to be, you're not going to go from 0 to 100 in 2 years. I mean, it's just, I've seen a lot of people come into the entrepreneur realm and think, oh, well, in 6 months, I'll have a successful website. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that. No, probably not. That's not realistic. And if you only are going to devote 6 months to it, then you need to look at it as a long-term investment. This is a long-term investment. Anything's a long-term investment. Sobriety is a long-term investment. Your health is a long-term investment. These things are not something that you're going to fix overnight, or they're not going to pay off overnight. I mean, don't eat one healthy meal and the next day you feel fabulous. That's not, everything takes time. Yes, but the time, it's worth it. You're building something. It's so worth it. I wouldn't change any of the steps that we've taken to get to where we are.
No.
And quitting drinking was the catalyst, the total turning point.
That started
it catapulted everything. We already had the business going. We had it started. We quit drinking, and it was like a rocket. we were able to clearly see the path, put forth even more discipline into our business, and grow it quicker, I think, because we weren't drinking than when we were drinking. And it's just, how bad do you want it? I think that's what it boils down to. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to give up things in order to give it? And giving up drinking will give you things that you never thought you could have while you were drinking.
100%.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because how bad do you want it? It has to happen for you. You have to say that to yourself. How bad do I want this?
Yes.
And that's it. Do I want it bad enough? If somebody had told me when I quit drinking in 2013, do you want this bad enough that you're going to be sober in 2022? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know at that point, but I was still drinking. I had no clarity. I had no idea what it was going to be like, other than the fact that it was going to be hard. I was, I had just resolved myself to, it's going to be hard. I'm going to be deprived. I'm going to miss out. People aren't going to invite me places. It's all those things that women are focusing on, that we have to stop focusing on those things. We have to start focusing on being real with ourselves and making this a real, true agreement with ourselves in the beginning, that this is going to be hard. This is going to take time, and it's worth it to me because.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember before we quit drinking, always thinking about the person who I saw in my mind of who I was supposed to be, or who I wanted to be, was not somebody that was sitting in a bar at Friday night, drinking with the same people, telling the same stories they told the last Friday night. Those were not the things I kept seeing for my future. But you continuing to do that every Friday night or Saturday night or Tuesday night was not ever going to get me closer to the person that I saw in my mind that I should be. When I quit drinking, I was able to start working on that and seeing that person come into fruition more and more and more. I saw it every month that I got behind me in sobriety. I mean, those are the decisions that breeds the discipline to create the life that you want to create.
Exactly. It sounds like you knew it was going to be inevitable, but you had no plan to quit until you did. That's exactly what it was for me and a lot of people. What year was it that you quit drinking? Remind us.
2016.
Yes.
Okay.
2016.
Awesome. So you're going into 6 years. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
you've blown up. So you had the business first, then you got sober. Did you notice in your daily routines then, after you quit drinking, how much more productive you were and focused?
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, it makes all the difference.
And I think when you first quit drinking, you're like, what am I going to do with all this time?
Bored to death.
Oh my God. I remember calling my mom and being like, what the hell do people do that don't drink? This is, I see all these people driving home. What are they going to go do?
Yeah, it's like at that point, you're like, tell me, please, what do you do? Because I have no idea.
I'm dead serious. What do these people do? Yeah. And, I think that's when the magic happens. You have the ability to really, truly change your life. You don't sit around getting drunk and sucking on cigarettes from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. You have time to build a business, learn how to go for a walk, read a book, do things that are, enhancing your life and not taking away from it. And
what do you think of drinking alcohol as an activity? Did you feel like it was an activity?
I thought it was a job.
I thought it was a full-time job, basically.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, all day long are we going to drink? 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 And then when you get off work, you're like, yes, we're going to drink. And then you're like, okay, so from 5:30 to 10 o'clock, because it's my second job, I'm drinking.
Because the minute you start drinking, nothing else exists.
Girls are so cute.
I wasn't drinking and
gonna go run later.
It wasn't like I was drinking and cleaning the house and running a business. No, it was like, okay, now we're drinking. That's it. So, it was like a full-time job. Now you're at work. Now you're drinking. That was pretty much it. So it opened up a whole new world.
It's amazing what you can get done in a day when you don't spend 6 hours of it every night doing something that takes away from your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you find yourself making any excuses now for getting things done or for showing up for yourself and just doing the work that you need to do? Do you find any excuses coming up?
Oh,
I think we all have that tendency. I think they're always going to be there, but it's going to be on a much smaller scale. It's going to be I'll work out at 4:00 this afternoon instead of 8:00 this morning. And, you still manage to get it in. You might put it off for 5 or 6 hours. I think there's always going to be that battle of it's not going to be as large. I don't think it's as large as it was.
Yeah.
I think that now it's more about which good habit are we going to put here? I mean, are we going to, for me, am I going to get up and start working, which I enjoy and I want to do, or am I going to get that workout in first and then start working? They're still both good habits.
But our favorite saying, and we say this to each other every night when we get done with everything, is we always get it done. And that's just our thing. And that's kind of our motto. That's become our saying is, no matter what the day brings. And, when you're self-employed, there's going to be things coming up all the time. But, we always in the day we always get it done. And, that's just how we hold ourselves accountable. I'm not going to end the day not getting it done. I don't want to go to bed not getting it done.
Exactly. Yeah. I've learned a lot from you girls with that, definitely. And not overwhelming myself with getting all of the things done, but being realistic with what I can get done and then being happy at the end of the day. But I think two of those excuses is I make just what you were saying. It's like, I was already doing that this morning. I'll let Spencer sleep. I'm not going to get up. I won't get him up. We'll go do our workout later. But then it comes back to self-awareness where I know I'm not going to do it later. And so the excuse is just kind of almost like it's not as loud as it used to be. It's not blaring. And it's very much this moment where we can have with ourselves where we're really honest and we become our own accountability, of course, which we all have that within us. And then also just like our partner, like just bouncing things off of each other. I bounce things off of myself all the time.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, and even if you don't do the one thing, you're not going to let it derail the whole day.
Exactly.
I think that was the thing before, drinking was my excuse to derail the whole day, just not do the things that you said you were going to do. But now if I don't, for some reason, get a workout in, it's not the end of the world. You're going to start the next day, but I'm still going to get in the 4 or 5 other things that I had planned to do that day. Yeah. I'm not going to ruin the whole day. Yeah.
Exactly. Same with dieting. Like I have one bite of a donut. I might as well just quit and start next week again. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It really gives you a chance to get out of that all or nothing thinking and into more flexibility. And just, again, that pact with yourself and that relationship with yourself becomes like, you're not going to BS yourself anymore. That's what it is. Like, I'm not going to BS myself anymore. I can't.
Right. Yes. And the BS meter goes way down when you're of clear mind and can see things for what they are. It's very easy to lie to yourself when you're drinking. When you're not, the lies are very apparent and you're like, what are you doing? Like, you're full of shit. Like, this is not how we need to be doing things. And that's where you get real, with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that that's easier coming to terms with yourself and being real with yourself than it was to deny yourself and to make justifications and avoid really what you want?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Because I feel like you said, drinking is an avoidance. And when you drink and avoid the evening or the things that you said you were going to do, that voice is only louder at 7:30 the next morning. Mm-hmm. And it's louder in the fact that now you've messed up again. So for me now that I think you live in a loop of guilt. Yeah. And then you get rid of that loud voice like that. I think your voice becomes a cheerleader instead of, angry. Yeah. Mad at yourself. Yeah. Mom.
Mob. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. A mob, because there's all different kinds of voices that are coming from us. The mean girl, the one that wants to just beat you up and kick the shit out of you the next day. And, then we have this one in there that's just trying to give us the self-compassion that we need, but it's just so hard because she's getting completely drowned out by the bashing that's going on. So we have all these different parts of us that create a mob. Could be a good mob or a mean mob, a nice mob or yeah. I love that so much. Let's talk about what motivates you to stay sober after 5 years.
I mean, for me, I love my life. I love every battle and scar and joyous occasion. And I would never want to do it the way I did it for 20 years. I mean, that's really the truth of it. That's the motivation. I gave it a good 20 years and, I'm done with it. And, I look back on my drinking. There's things I would never have changed. There's things that I would have never probably met my husband. There's things that, I'm happy that occurred. But the tools that I have gained in the past 5 years are undeniably what makes me who I am today. And I would never go back to what it was ever.
And that was Lee speaking. I should have introduced you girls each time I ask a question, in hindsight. And what about you?
For me, it's stacking the good. I remember when I quit and then 2 months in, a business proposition came up and I was so excited about it. And normally I would have run home and been like, oh my God, get the beer, we're going to celebrate. I'm so excited. And I remember thinking to myself, this would not be happening if I was still drinking. And it was add this to the good file. And it just started stacking the good things that come about in life without alcohol. You miss out on all of that. You don't see it when you're drinking. So for me, it's every good thing that's happened in the last 6 years, I credit that back to quitting drinking.
Yeah.
I would not be accumulating these good things if I was still in that mindset. So I'm not going to say sobriety is easy. I mean, it's different for everybody, but for me, it's a much easier choice today because of all of the positive and good things that we've been able to build.
And do you ever think about drinking again? Do you ever think about it?
No. I mean, I think about my drinking days.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, but it's never crossed my mind to want to drink. Now, I will say I don't put myself in those situations. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that still go out on Friday nights and they have fun with people that are still drinking. I'm not one of those that really has been put in a lot of those situations. And it may be different if I was, but I don't find that lifestyle alluring anymore or, want to really be around it. I want to be around driven people like you, Lori, that are accomplishing big things, people that have a mindset of success and wanting to achieve. And I don't find that those types of people are getting loaded on a Sunday afternoon. So that's the difference. They don't sit in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
What about you, Lee? Do you ever think about it?
I don't ever think about partying and drinking. I dream about it quite a bit, which is weird. So obviously it's still there, in my subconscious. And I always wake up so mad because I was drinking or smoking or, trying to come up with an excuse that I could. No, I really don't. The first year or two, that was tough. I mean, it was an everyday thing that crossed my mind, but now, not so much. And I mean, even if I do think about it, it's very fleeting. It's not like a crave. It's just a thought, a beer would be good right now. And I went, no.
And I couldn't listen to music, the music that I loved for the first 4 or 5 years. Just recently, I've been able to download music that we used to drink to, and I don't see it in that same light. I mean, before I always saw us sitting around drinking and talking, and now I think about, I don't miss that because I experienced it. I did it all for 20 years. Now I use it for visualization and other things. It takes time and distance to be able to do it.
I remember when we talked about that, I felt the same way about, especially the Counting Crows. That was one of my favorite. I just sit there by myself drinking wine and crying, listening to the Counting Crows. And I couldn't listen to them for a bit. And, we come up with all of these things when we quit drinking. I'm never going to be able to do that again. I'm never going to be able to do that again. And I know for me, the first year on my anniversary, we went and saw the Counting Crows live. And it was my first time ever seeing them sober. And it was an experience, I will say that. But we got to remember, just like you girls are talking about, adding things to your life. And if you feel like you're taking away, what can you add? And only you know what's going to bring you that joy. We can all share stories of what works for us, but you got to get down to actually seeking it out and finding that for yourself, because it's not going to drop in your lap. It's just not.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What can you say to the gal out there who's maybe doing a dry January this year? And let's see, this episode releases on January 4th. go, you got it, you could do it. What do you say to her on January, let's say 15th, where she starts to wane a little bit? What keeps her going, do you think? What tips?
I mean, I think like what we've been saying, like you can accomplish anything. Think back to the things that alcohol have added to your life. I'm sure it's a very short list. Keep that in the forefront. Keep the things that you love and hold dear right in front of you, and continue to add them even more to your life every single day through the month of January. I think a lot of people get lost in what makes them happy as they get older, because they go through the monotonous of the everyday stuff with kids and husbands or wives, and they forget what truly brings you joy. So my thing would be to encourage you to find throughout the month of January those things that truly bring you joy. And for me, what helped me the most was thinking about when I was a kid. If you go back to when you were a child, what really brought you joy and happiness, 9 times out of 10 will do it for you today. And that's what has helped me. And so that's my advice. Find your joy and stop thinking about alcohol as much as you possibly can.
Yes. I think, and make lists of all the good things that's happened in the first 15 days of the month. Don't make a list of all the things you're missing out. Make a list of the things that have been good, like going to bed at a decent time, creating a night routine, feeling rested when you wake up in the morning and not hungover. Those are things that just keep adding to that self-care list. Yeah. I think it's so important. And I used to be the biggest anti-self-care person when I was drinking. I thought that was so weak. Who needed to go get their hair done all the time? Things like that. And that's so ridiculous. Those things make you feel good, and continue to add them. I think you have to add in the good. It's important. Make rules to listen to a podcast every day, and make it a positive podcast like 50 and Beyond. Find one that inspires you. Lori, you've always inspired me when I quit drinking. You're one of the first accounts I found. And I think it's so important to resonate to that. And make your Instagram feed, your social media feed about positive stuff. Don't be looking at your high school friends that are still out partying. That's not important. Add the positive in. Yeah. And every day, just keep it in front of you. And keep stacking the days. Just think, already 15.
Yeah. That was huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. Yeah.
I remember when I got the 60 days, I was like, I can do anything. Because I'd never went that long ever in my life since I was 18.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. 3 days, 7 days. If you're an everyday drinker, especially, you have to acknowledge that, because that's where we don't acknowledge our success and that progress that we're making. And I will say this, because I want to say this to be very gentle, but I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about doing a dry January. If you're doing it and you're wanting to quit drinking, please do this work like the girls are talking about during the month. Please seek your joy. Don't just check off days on the calendar. Use this time for yourself, because it's important. And if you get to the end of the month and you're on, let's see, is there 31 days in January? Yes, you're on February 1st. The clock ticks over. What do you do that day? You don't have to worry about it right now. But honestly, when you get to that day, if you've reaped the rewards and the benefits in January, ask yourself, what do I do now? What do I want to do now? Because you don't have to go back to it. It doesn't just have to be for 30 days.
And always remember too, you are healing your body. As much as you don't want to acknowledge it, you have damaged your body if you have been drinking every day. That's just reality. Anything we continue to do in a bad way. So, just think on February 1st, how much your body has improved in 30 days. And do you want to turn around and erase all that? Or do you want to keep going forward? Or you want to get a new normal for yourself with alcohol? Your body is thanking you, and it is healing, and you're going to feel like a new person. We're designed to feel good. We're not designed to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And just know too, on that day, February 1st, let's just say I've got it. I'm going to go back, and you got to tap into that truth and that self-awareness with yourself. If you're somebody who knows that you don't want just one drink and you have been struggling with this, please be honest with yourself and keep moving forward if you want to do it without alcohol, because, we all think we get to that point, even at 7 days, I feel good. I don't remember last week when I was so hungover and vowed to never drink again. I don't remember that. I'm just going to go back because I feel great. I got it. I got it, right? Be honest with yourself, because we all know I thought that too, and I never had it. I may have wanted to have it, but now I know I never had it. Okay, before we go, talk about the magazine, because I really want you girls to share what you do there, because the work and the love that goes into the magazine that you put out every single quarter is just, it warms my heart so much. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. Talk about the next issue. When's it coming out?
The next issue will be our spring issue of 2022, and it will be out in March or April. We just put out our winter issue like a month ago, I think. 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so I'll have a little bit of a break. And, From Porch Life came to be because I was tired of getting magazines, honestly, and don't get me wrong, like there's a space for everybody. But not everybody has the money to hire a decorator for their home. Not everybody wants to host a party and have 3 caterers come in from the bayou to, take care of everything. So, I just thought we need a space for people that, love going to the flea markets and decorating their house, the way that they want to. And, kind of getting back to the roots of the simple things in life that are important and not so much of the materialistic extravagance and the way that life is supposed to look on certain social media platforms and things like that. So From Porch Life is just a labor of love, and it's been so much fun, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a blast, and it's gotten great reviews. We have a wonderful audience that we adore. So it's just been great. It's fun, and it just continues to grow. And that's the whole point of everything in life, is just to continue to evolve and to grow and learn every day. So
it's definitely done well.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I think it's so beautiful, and it's heartwarming. As soon as I've looked at the winter issue, it's just like the stories that you have, because you share stories of other businesses, and it's just, you could feel the love. I honestly remember the first time I saw it, I told you girls, I had tears in my eyes. It's just it's the emotion. It really drives my emotions. And it just reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of being a kid. It reminds me of just the simplicity of life. And it really pulls you back into what really matters. And I just want to congratulate you girls. And you can get the winter issue. You can get a bundle of your past issues, right? All of them are super stellar. And I will have that, of course, linked down below in the show notes. Any final words of wisdom, the Wall Cup wisdom, for the gal out there who really wants to make 2022 her year, that she goes after what she wants?
I mean, my words of wisdom is you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. As they say when we were kids, you can do anything that you can envision. And, just put your head down and get to work. Like that's what and enjoy the work. Like I think that so many people are put off by doing the work. The fun is in the work. The fun is in building it. Okay. That's, when you look back on your life, it's the things that you built with your passion and your creativity that bring you so much joy. It's not the end product. It's not, the accolades. It's the work. It's the journey. That's what it's all about. So my advice is get started on your journey and make it everything that you want it to be.
I agree. It's all there right in front of you. You have it in front of you and in you to do it. So, I mean, we are at a point in life where there's so much opportunity, and you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, it's there. If someone's told you can't do it, that's the wrong person to have around you. Focus on what you want. It's okay to be selfish in that regard. Yes. 2022 is a fantastic year.
It is. And the environment has so much to do with it. Who you're hanging out with, who you're listening to, honestly. And like the girls had mentioned earlier, it's such a great point. If you're on social media, make that feed really uplifting for you. Make that feed something that you're excited to go to every day. And we all have old friends that we love, but if they're sharing things on your social media that kind of trigger you and make you feel like you're wishing for those good old days when you're out back drinking with them, move on.
Yeah, right. Mute them. Right. And add people that you aspire, that you see their content and you think, oh my gosh, that's so neat. I want to be
in the same realm.
I want to accomplish the same things. I mean, you need that in front of you. That is what is important to see on a daily basis. Yeah.
Thank you, girls, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. I'm super grateful for you. Reminder, if you want to get in on the alcohol-free habit before enrollment closes next week, please visit thealcoholfreehabit.com, get your secret coupon code down below in the show notes, and get on in there. I will welcome you with open arms. 2022 is going to be our year, gals. I love you so much. Take care of yourself this week. Peace.